This right here is the scale 118 Nissan GTR by Jada. This particular model is based on the 2008 version, which was, I believe, the first year. And overall, decent model, has some redeeming features for its losses. But overall, I'm going to just do a review on this for those who may be interested and looking to buy this car. Now first I have to mention that this is no longer being produced, but they are still around, so you can find them, especially on, say, eBay, sometimes even on Amazon, depending on who's selling it. It came in, only two colors as far as I can find, this silver color, as well as a really, really nice black, but best of luck to find the black. I tried, they're not out there, and if they are, they're charging way higher than they should be. I have to stress, this is a Giada, which means that it's a very budget car, almost toy-like. But there are reasons why I like this being compared to other competitors like the Bburago version, and I'm going to point those out. So, it was kind of a toy, it was about $25, kind of average for a budget car anyway. Everything does open. There's the trunk. And it does not feature suspension or, surprisingly even, steering. Although the steering wheel doesn't move, my bad, I'm referring to the Giada Camaro. So the other option, if you want a budget GTR, you go with Bburago. Here's why I don't like the Bburago. Now it doesn't come with suspension, it does have steering, which is nice, but the rims just don't look as realistic as the ones on Giada. I have to say the reason why I got this model over the Bburago was simply because of the rims. Just because they have a really nice aesthetic to them. They look very real, and they match the actual car a lot better than the Bburago versions. But also, now that I have the car, I've realized that it also has some other features that are very much redeeming. And it's kind of strange because Giada doesn't normally produce models like this. They normally kind of they tune them out. They throw on extra size rims, stereo systems, and personally, I think they look ridiculous. But if that's what you're into, by all means. They seem very toy-like, and this one is toy-like. But this one, despite being a little bit of a toy, it has a lot of features that sometimes even Maestro Bburago doesn't get right. For instance, we can see that there is no peg in the headlight at all. There also is none in the taillight. And the detail within the headlight is pretty good. You can see there is the reflection, which almost appears in some light, that the xenon bulb is on, which is kind of cool, as well as the blinker there. Very, very fine detailing on the GTR badge in the front. Looks good. And along here, it kind of has a nice, it is plastic, and it doesn't necessarily have a carbon fiber. I'm not quite sure if that's carbon fiber in the real car or not, but whatever it is. Oh, I think it is actually, because we have a little bit of a texture right there. It does look pretty good. This spoiler is part of the metal car. Bumper is metal. As I mentioned, the rims, which look very realistic. And along with that, you have a rotor that stays in place next to the disc, which moves with the wheel. Nice to see. Then a little GTR logo there. Very finely done. It's amazing. This car was pretty cheap, probably pretty cheap to manufacture, I imagine. Now, taillight, this is another thing that's significantly better than a Bburago model. You can see the depth of it is very, very impressive. It goes to about here, and you can see all the LED patterns kind of in a circle, and it makes it look extra realistic. And as far as looking at it from this angle, it really does appear that there is a bulb in the back. So, again, a very small detail that Giada wouldn't normally, do a good job on, but they just put a lot of effort into this car for some reason. Another GTR logo there, Nissan, pretty good. Embossed on there. It's a plastic spoiler. And some exhaust pipes, which surprisingly are the correct size. Pretty small trunk. That stops right there. I think that's a bit unrealistic. Should go a little bit farther. Wheels turn on a single axle, which makes them extremely durable if you plan on giving this to a 5-year-old. But still, it would be nice to see some steering. Underneath, yeah, pretty much realistic to the actual car. There isn't much on the bottom anyway for aerodynamic purposes. So it's for the most part all closed up. Engine detail, not too bad, although you really can't see underneath. It is just one gigantic plastic piece with a little bit of overuse of chrome in this area as well as there, but it is technically correct as far as the components go. So it's not bad. I've seen worse. In some cases, again, Bburagos even are worse in this case. Oh yeah, one other thing I want to mention that makes this better than the Bburago version is the fact that the wheels, when you put it down, they're facing straight up like this, not bowed out like that, which appears like the car is too heavy for its suspension. And that's one of my pet peeves. I really can't stand that. On the interior, detail isn't too bad, although it's not the best in the world. But considering the extra effort they put on the exterior, I wouldn't expect too much on the interior. You can see all the buttons are there. It has the dials are on the screen here. It looks pretty good, as well as the sports settings and transmission. A little bit of extra effort went around this transmission knob. You can see it's kind of a silver outlining, as well as silver outlining on the air vents as well. A little bit there as well. And GTR written on the bottom. Paint quality, poor. That's really the best way to describe it. There are numerous little spots and imperfections throughout the car. I guess here. That's a big scratch. I don't know where that came from. Definitely wasn't me. See, that's another annoying thing. It's not very smooth right here. I can feel it. It's almost like a rough patch as you run over it. Kind of strange. But anyway, overall, despite this being a Giada, despite this being rather toy-like, it's pretty good for a budget GTR. So I would actually recommend it, despite its issues, and I would recommend it over the Bburago version, definitely, because the rims look better, interior is just about the same, exterior just about the same, except for details which Giada have improved on, like the taillights, the headlights, and very minor detailing there and there. So, not too shabby, I will say. And that's all. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps.